monitor.
Oh, we are being live
And
streamed.
everyone just gets to see me do this like a crazy person. No big deal.
That's all right. Look at that. Head's chopped off. Okay, welcome to Talk About Paint Club.
Okay.
Oops.
Even
Right.
better.
Well, excuse me. Welcome to Talk About Paint Club. I'm your host, Rick Strohmeyer, and I'm a white dude sitting in a chair in a black t-shirt, along with my co-host.
Mad Hattress is a white chick sitting in a chair wearing a dress.
Very good. All right, cool. All right,
I
so
hate you.
why is it?
No, I love
Come on,
you.
dude. That was topical this summer.
Was it?
Yes. So like, apparently, some people didn't like Kamala Harris doing a introduction at a meeting with that had to do with handicap accessibility, and she described herself with the visually impaired. And I was like, really? That's what you're going to pick on right now? She decided to be a little more, I don't know, aware, accepting, just like tolerant, and it's like that's the backlash. That's not okay.
I have a friend who
Hey.
works with like handicapped people as well, and she has a habit. Oh shit! Sorry, I just learned my tripod could go taller, so I don't need to do whatever I was just doing. Sorry, everyone. I'm learning things, and this is learning for
Hey, Jason.
Nicole's learning.
All right. So let's see, to the good folks who stuck with us. We're back from a summer vacation. There's a lot of shit going on this summer, and there's like so much shit that it's like, well, what can you sacrifice so that it's like so you can buy time and like scheduling. So unfortunately, Talk About Paint Club is the thing that took a little bit of a chop. That being said, it's been productive. It's been a productive 10 weeks ish. And yeah, welcome to everybody coming back, and I appreciate it. So Nicole, the big topic of the big question of the night: what you drinking tonight?
Fucking coffee. Don't.
What?
Just don't. Ooh, what just happened? Did I just turn off my screen? I think I just turned off my screen. Okay, wait, there we go. Sorry. I'm learning, people. My bad. I'm learning.
On the job training. You're
Yeah,
drinking coffee.
I have to. I mean, I guess I didn't really have to, but I had to.
Yeah. Cool.
Dinner, tired.
I got a mocktail going on right now.
What's in your mocktail?
So Alicia went to a craft fair and got like margarita mixes galore, and all locally made. And this one is a margarita mix with jalapeno in it. So instead of putting tequila in, I ended up putting some grapefruit soda. And there's like virtually no carbonation, and I got a kick of pepper at the end of each swallow, so it's pretty nice.
No carbonate. I love it. I love that.
So like, spicy drinks are not normally my thing. Normally I do it with Bloody Mary. So having all the citrus and pepper is it's quite pleasant.
Now I want a Bloody Mary.
Oh, there you go. All right, so let's see, what do we do? We got that. Hey, all right. So we have been off for, I want to say 10 weeks.
A long time.
Maybe a little less. It was before 5 points. So
we did one live together.
Yes, but it was like a paint along instead of actually like the show format. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so, oh boy. So over the break, what have you been up to? Tell
Well,
you what,
I
we can go
saw
back and forth.
you.
At 5 points.
Yeah, well, after 5 points since I did not go,
Yeah.
but yes,
Yep.
I saw Rick. I what have I? Is this the same as what have I been working on lately? Because I feel like there's a
Well,
little bit
we
of
could go back and forth, take turns on what we did during the break. And
yeah,
then
because I
get
had
a pin.
I had a show in Manhattan. Um, that was fun. I had a birthday. That was
Oh,
a thing. Thank you. And I got my sculptin. That's the proto.
oh,
So baby girl came in, and I've been working on getting to know my pressure pot better, and like
yeah.
there's some bubbles and stuff, but I'm getting to learn her, and we're working on getting to know her better. Like this one just came out earlier. I have to clean up her butt. That sounds so funny. Yeah, I'll show the other stuff later because I pulled some stuff. I pulled some stuff to be close to me, so I didn't have to keep getting up and walking away like I always do.
Oh, man. Okay. It's been a while, and I had to reformat some windows so I could like look at the window chat and this and that.
I'm gonna have to get used to like looking at this camera like this instead of like how my phone was and like my iPad where I looked at you
Right.
and it was
I
the
was gonna have
same
mine
like
right. I was gonna have mine facing this way, but then I had a light on the back that I didn't care for. So I was like, oh, we'll do this. The old plain old and will be good for the day.
yeah, we're fine.
Okay. So let's see, one of the many things we did, in no particular order. We went to 5 points and I shared a booth with Clive. And put a lot of toys in hands. Came back less toys than I left with. Well, there's a possible, like I bought some inventory while I was there too. So got some inventory and got some prototypes to paint. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And my hotel, and like almost anything, well, any event that you ever go to that you're used to, like a site or a venue, and it changes. There's always those folks who are like the event, then they're not happy with whatever part of the venue. And as much as there was like some faulty things going on with the new site, like there was some really cool things about it too, especially with like the location hotels, because I mean Brooklyn's big and like all the traffic makes it bigger. And
Yeah.
like if first time going to 5 points where my hotel was 3 miles from the expo center, all of a sudden that's like a 40-minute drive, and this one was a 10-minute walk. So super nice about that. Turns out I shared the same room, or same hotel with James Groman. So like on one of the first nights going back, it was like, where are you going? And we had a
That's your
wonderful,
buddy.
and then we had a wonderful chit chat for a few seconds. And in fact, yeah, I have one of the few pictures I took of at 5 points, and boom, there's me and Groman, the Cthulhu.
Yeah, I recognize that baby.
So I was like, hey, all right, that's pretty dope. So
To this day, it still gives me a little like agita inside my heart.
yeah, all right. What else did you ever go?
I mean, like I said, I made those. I'm not taking down the painting that I was working on when we were live. I sent you a picture of that and how it
Okay.
came out with the black light. And I took a tip from the book of Godfather Rick, and I brought a blacklight flashlight to the show so people could see how cool that painting was with the blacklight on it. And then it turned into people taking it and going over to their paintings to see if their shit could do something cool. And I was like, bring back my fucking flashlight. But I also did. So do you remember back for Complex? I did the brick wall for Martian.
Yeah.
And it went MIA. Like in the mail. So I really wanted to replicate it on a canvas. So I did 3 different ones and they were hung up for the show.
Okay.
I did the original colors. And then I did a kind of like funky neon with a brownish brick wall. And there's also blacklight reactive. And then I did a red brick with grayscale for that one. And each one of them was named the same thing, Frida the Miracle, but in 3 different languages. So it was in Spanish, Italian, and then in French. So I thought it was pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. I really like making those. And I started getting stuff ready for DCon because we kind of have to. And like I'm not doing anything for New York Comic Con that I know of at least. So I started taking out my blanks and everything like that. And I actually weighed the box yesterday, like just to see like how, just in product, like what's the weight of everything I'm working with. And it weighs out to be like 18 pounds or something like that. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus Christ. And I know a lot of it's resin or like whatever, but there's that. And then I have to cast some blanks of these for you guys to work on. And then I'm getting like all of that stuff ready and trying to get like stickers ready. And like, I want to like make sure that I can have for you and me have like this set up and everything ready. Because you and I are going to be at the same booth. Rick and I are at the same booth this year. Woo! at Martian. So I'm going to ask them if we can be next to each other. This way, you know, we can have a paint club like session and we can wear our shirts and all that jazz. If I knew we were wearing shirts tonight, I would have fucking like changed my shirt real quick. But you know, I didn't. I wasn't aware.
Well, I figured coming back after a break. Yeah, great thing.
So I'm just kind of getting ready for that. And then I'm also getting ready for Creative Con in December.
Yep.
I'm going to be doing that. And I've been working on like my sketching and just kind of like getting that faster, as I'm also going to be on 228 Tuesday, which is with Beam Argent and Playful Gorilla, where they take the priority sticker labels.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, it's called like code 228 from 228 Tuesday. And Bean does this thing where she like, it's a great idea that she brought together, where it spins like the wheel of like prompts that people have submitted, and like at the end, like everybody gets all of our artwork, like all 4 people's artwork. So I'm trying to like get like my sketching like faster, and I've been working on a lot of the creatives cards by doing that. So I can go back over and erase it before I get like my lines in. And I've been like watching her old episodes and just like getting my illustrating down better. And like, I know how everyone always says like, well, yeah, if you practice, you get better at it. But like, you know what? Here, I don't want to hear it right now. It's been getting better. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, who would have thought if you just practice what you're supposed to do, you get better at it. So that's been fun. I've been watching a lot of her her stuff on her Twitch channel, which is like a big like thing of why like I was talking to you about that. But she has a really cool thing. Totally pitching her show on here. Sorry about that, but if on Tuesdays, if anybody ever
Nice.
has an itch to want to do some cool shit, because it's pretty fun. It's pretty fucking fun. Like even if you're not on the show, like as the artist, just like have it because they're free at the post office. You know, like just grabbing them and like, oh, the prompt is Spider-Man, whatever. You just draw something like whatever your brain says in your head for that, and it's just pretty fucking cool. And like you got a cute little piece of artwork for yourself. That's been my like my thing with art for like the last few weeks. It's just like besides that show, because shit, my ass did not sleep like for that shit. It was just like, okay, just like lots of practice. And I've been taking, it's only the second class, but I've been taking her mold classes on Patreon, Beans classes, and
Okay.
like learning how to just like make molds correctly. And we're going to get eventually into like, you know, the pressure pot and everything like that. And just getting to know like my materials better. Because of course, you know me, Rick, can't just stop on, you know, a few things that I get my hands dabbled in. For my birthday, I got a scroll saw so I could cut my own shape for canvases. And I got an electroforming kit so I could like copper plate shit.
Nice.
Yeah, because I needed, you know, obviously more hobbies and stuff. So like, at least with what she's offering for what we do, it's going to help like a lot. And it's a great resource. So that's been a lot of fun to even like I said, even with the 228 shit, it's a lot of fun to like go back and just kind of like rewatch things and practice that more. And this has been my iPad has been my best friend since then, because I just like sit there and now I try to see how fast I can like sketch things out, and just lots of like, I don't know what's the word, like yeah, not practice is such a bad word for this. I don't know how to say it, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, practice is fun. Yeah, like that's what sketchbooks are for, right? All the practice, and we preach the gospel of wanting to practice even before you start painting something, just to make sure that you've got a little warmed up and you've got an idea ready to execute. Like hell, it's like one of my buddies was talking to me about the idea that like tasks, you know, like almost half of your task is always the preparation, so that like once you start executing something, like all your preparation makes that task go easier, which is one of the reasons, you know, like I like to paint in batches, is so that I can have all that preparation doesn't go to waste once you move on one toy, you know. And that's actually like one of the topics I had on mind about like trying to bust slumps, is like you put, you know, when you put in your preparation time, you know, make sure you have as much possible that can be used with that time that you put aside for it. And in that case, like batch painting stuff is totally legitimate, where like like I will look at toys and be like, okay, what color? And actually some of the things that I've done that I was going to show off tonight is very much that idea. But like once you start putting in like a color on the airbrush, like what else can you paint with that to make sure like you're not wasting as much paint, or you're not spending as much time like cleaning out your pot, knowing that like, oh, I put like I got half a pot of paint in here. Let's paint as much as I can with that. Like, what can I paint?
Yeah.
Or what can I paint? So like we'll go with and even then, like I use my color wheel, I'm gonna use this little guy as the example. I have a, you grab a little color wheel and then you can figure out like,
Ah,
if you're gonna be going, like which colors can you use in an order to where it can help reduce your trend, the amount of cleanup. So if I'm using a green, the next color I use would either be a blue or a yellow to, like, if there's still like some schmutz in the airbrush, it's not like, it'll at least feel like it would belong in that same use.
yeah.
So like, so today, yeah, I'm gonna show off these. Let's see, we'll go with a screen share first because why not? So when I was at my mom's, I cobbled together a before I left, I cobbled together, or I
You
grabbed like,
sculpted those?
excuse me?
You sculpted those?
Yeah. No. These are by George Sokoudis from Greece. And
I was just gonna fall on the floor if you told me you sculpted those. Like,
no, I
I
did not
was just,
sculpt these. I don't sculpt. So
that's why I was gonna
um,
fall on the floor.
so like I just, I will, that's part of my MO is to just find as many cool sculpts as possible. And I don't. So there. At any rate, so yeah, these are all about roughly, they're bigger than a ping, they're bigger than a golf ball, but smaller than a baseball, right? So they have, I'm gonna hold one in my hands a little bit. This was a makeshift photo setup I made in El Paso too. So I could yeah, just so I could have some type of documentation of what I was doing. And like I was taking pictures over my at the kitchen table I was stationed at. I was taking pictures in the airbrush area that I cobbled together. And so like all of these, that's the idea that I had started out with the yellow ochre over at this guy in the middle, and then I moved to a green. So I had sprayed this slug in the back with the bottom of the green. And then as I moved from the green, I went to blue, a blue green, and then I moved to a blue violet, which is also what I hit the slug with. Then after the blue violet, I went to the red violet, and it was just like boom, 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 boom. Everything's in a color or in an analogous setting, and it worked out really nice. And all the eyes, every eye I painted while I was there was just red, and I did it the same way that I painted the eyes on the Groman Cthulhu, and everything turned out really cool with it. Just yeah, and that kind of consistency, just like the idea of handling that and the consistency of it just worked out really, really well. And other things from George T. Or George Sokoudis, like figuring out how to pronounce that gentleman's name was a trip. So we had this Cthulhu shrine that I finished up, and I was trying, and I was practicing with some newer paints to get some cool blends from the blue to the green down. I really like how that turned out. And what's up? Did you miss it?
No, just
Or
my heart. Every time you do something, I'm just like,
oh, well, thank you. And then like I had this is one of the few things that didn't get finished. Like it'll be finished by next week. But like the thing was to do, I don't think did I screen share? No, I did not screen share this. So I'm just being a dummy. So anyway, let's see. Let's go grab the screen share. So this was George's Baba Yaga sculpt, and actually it has an arm that I didn't include on
oh my
in this
God, that
photo.
is a Baba Yaga.
So like it's super cool. It's one of two things I did not finish there.
I'm
Um,
traumatized.
but like the plan was to be, well, for the 12 days I was there at my mom's, I brought 12 toys, and the plan was to try and finish as many as possible.
Were you
Or
gonna
all
do
of
the
them.
12 days of Christmas, but the 12 days of Texas?
No.
Yes, you were.
No, man. So like, there were, I had a couple of hangups of why, like, they sound like whiny excuses why I didn't finish, but the big reason is my airbrush totally clogged up while I was there, and I didn't try to fight cleaning it because I didn't have all the stuff to do so. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's what this week is for, is to finish up, like, like do the little nuances that I would have wanted with the airbrush on a couple of things. And I have this behemoth that see, I cannot, if I get the light this way to work better on. There we go. So I had,
Dude.
now it's bouncing the light. But yeah, I had this every eye got to be red. And for the background on it, I used essentially like what H.R. Geiger would use as a color palette. But a lot of his paintings, I wanted the background to be show off that cool ass texture. Yeah. Oh yeah. So like, this is one of the pumpkins that I ended up doing. And so yeah. And let's see,
He's
where
so
is
cool.
this is my AirPod case right next to it. So the AirPod case, the
Oh,
little
that's
a
a good
little
height
bigger.
comparison.
Thank you. And so this one's already spoken for. And so like, I
Which
didn't
ones
even-
are not spoken for?
everything else. So like,
So that green one?
yeah, my little Grogu. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
This is one of
When
my
you-
favorite ones. Like,
When we log off, we'll talk.
when do I log off?
No, when you and I log off this, we'll chat.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then one of the reasons I did not finish all my stuff, besides the airbrush being a pain in the, excuse me, pain in the ass, was that you were kind enough to ship me dun dun dun. And so so I shared this the blacklight image of this on Instagram yesterday. And
I cannot believe what you've done already.
and I started painting some of the parts of it. So I think that this is going to be like updated on Paint Club only, and I'm not going to do any work in progress on Instagram. And that should just be fun. Like, you want to see, it's going to be there. And hello, Robin, and yeah.
I'm honestly like, you already know where my brain was at,
Right.
being the person who acted. But when you told me it was getting shipped, first my brain was like, oh shit, I forgot that existed. And then I was like, oh shit, it's coming in my house. Oh fuck, this is like when I had to bring the Cthulhu as my carry-on all over again, where I'm like this. Like I get to UPS and the guy's like, like, oh, did it, like, is it being shipped as is? I'm like, this is how it came, sir. Do you guys? And like you saw how like I put tape over like a few holes.
Yeah.
So that's how it came, and I was just like, I taped up the holes. Please send it like this. Please make sure it's insured for this value. I do not give a flying fuck. I'm not responsible. God forbid. You shall be responsible. Like,
yeah. Well, my mom's chow started chewing on the corner of the shipper box.
And when you
And I was
told me
like,
that,
hey!
I was like, when I left UPS,
I'm like, that old lady that takes care of you is going to pay for a $200 toy if you chew into it. Just like,
200.
Whatever. Like, his owner is going to be responsible.
Yeah, your mother, my mother. When I walked out of that store, I shit you not, I felt like the sweat, the sweating stopped. The chills were done. I was like, oh, All is well. All is well.
Right on.
And then when you said it wasn't stereo, and I asked you that day, I was like, and then it would arrive like 4 seconds later, and I'm just like, okay.
Right. Yeah, I messaged you and I was like, okay. Huh.
That shit was pretty funny. Though. Is it there yet? No. 2 seconds later, yes.
Yeah, the dog's barking like, hey, something's going on over there, but I don't understand it. All right. Oh, and real quick, I'm gonna do the reason I went to Texas. Yeah.
Oh,
Oops,
yeah,
no,
just 2 little babies.
yeah, to help my mom out. So I just took one of the best pictures ever of this guy, and we're just gonna share it right quick and be like, boom. He's a meme waiting to happen with all this glorious space for text. But he's a good guy, and my mom should keep him. So
When like he is a meme when your boss calls you in for work or
yeah,
whatever,
like
yeah.
look at all that beautiful text right down there, or space down there for text.
Oh.
All right.
I did bring some stuff over with me just to kind of show off some cool shit.
Kick ass. Go for it.
Let's see, like just some cool toys that I got while I was gone, or while we were gone, which I never get. So you know that this was a big spiel for me. I got this for my birthday. I took her paintbrush. I took the paintbrush out of her hand because I didn't want it to fall out.
There you
go. She matches my.
Oh, that's a good use of that body too.
I want another one to do stuff.
Or have some 3-inch dummies with that body.
I want all this. I got from Plastic Pizza when they did Zazzy's event. This is a little Dr. Plotz toy.
Oh, nice.
And it actually has the Yankee symbol on it. It's kind of, I don't know if you could see it.
Hold it by your nose. There you go. Now slowly bring it towards the camera. There you go. Stop. There you go. That's as great a detail as you're gonna get. Yeah.
I really hate you.
It does. It works.
I know, but I got a big June. So anyway.
Whatever.
And then
we don't body shame on this show.
Thank you. And then I went to Rising Tide.
Oh yeah. How was that?
It was good. Oh my God, it was great. Or I shouldn't even say it was good. It was amazing. I made cupcakes, so I'm gonna do this for myself a little bit. So my friend who came with me, he let me get his little freebie. So he got the Angie, and I got the Puck and Rizzo from Hot Actor, and I really love this character. And then Elusive gave me this little guy, which was cool. And I was somehow lucky enough to get the only thing I wanted. And I was just so grateful for it because I have a Cancer and I needed the little crab. and yesterday, the last thing came in the mail from the Clutter Show that CZ had. It is called the Marker Bot, like the Can Bot, but it's got a little marker tip. And I just thought the clear was super fucking cool and like really pretty. But the piece de resistance, I got this guy from Miss Jen Skadoots. She let me buy her only big boy.
Oh, nice.
It is literally.
That's almost as big as your hand.
I walked around like this for like the whole time.
Did those get cast or are those printed?
Oh, is Jen watching? I don't want to say that this is wrong, but I believe that they are printed, and he does it in a way to where it's like kind of hollowish. Because I even asked her that too. I was like, "Is this vinyl?" And she said, "No, it's printed in a way."
Okay.
Cool. I believe that's what she said. But this guy is fucking crazy, and I don't want to paint him because he's just gorgeous as is. So I think I need to buy another one and paint him up. But like, I'm so glad Rufus is finally like thing.
Materialized.
Yeah, like she deserves it. She really does.
That's
And like,
cool.
like the detailing, like, is fucking insanity. Like he has every little wrinkle that she always is able to like get in there. So Jen,
cool.
if you're not watching, I'll tell you about how much I love you later. So you already know. I hype her up constantly. I'm always like, if I'm like stuck in like a rut or whatever, like sketching or something, I'll bring that guy out and I'll put him on my desk and I'll just be like, hello, Rufus. Just use him as like my little like desk buddy because he's so big.
That's pretty good.
That was
Big
my
toys are good.
my summer hiccup.
Big toys are good. They're so fulfilling.
Yeah, and because I love my little guys. Like I have tiny little guys everywhere, but like, oh, I did get one other thing. Sorry, because you know me. I can't help it. I see something in the corner of my eye, and it reminded me. I got two things here. Something was from 5 Points, even though I did not go to it.
Oh, I got a bunch of toys from 5 Points.
Really?
Yeah, I bought a Catatomic custom, and I got some stuff from Last Resorts. I'll have to show that Catatomic next week. So I don't have any pictures. Well, maybe I do.
I got Priscilla's.
Oh,
mailbox.
sweet.
And I've been like dying for something of Priscilla's for so long. It's like the way her style is with like the mandalas and everything, like it ties in very well with my tattoo and her roses and everything and floral work. It sits over on my mom's display. And then I got this from 3D Retro by Jason Naylor. And I love this fucking thing.
Who painted that?
Jason Naylor.
Oh, nice.
I think it's his first sculpt.
That's cool.
I had to get it because it's pretty fucking cool. On the bottom, it's what is it say? Open Heart Official. Oh. So that was my summer of that. Now that I like look at that, so I'm just like, damn, I did buy one.
Oops. Here's. Wait a minute.
Ooh, you went to the museum?
I'm trying to find. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the Dunny I got from Catatomic.
You got the Lotus he did?
Uh-huh.
I saw the pictures when you kept posting. Shut, you're so lucky.
Well, thank you. Well, I saw it there, and I was like, I very much was very complimentary to the color, the product, the color, the quality. And I told Felix, I was like, all right, people say this all the time at conventions. He's like, what's that? If it's there at the end of if it's there on Sunday, I'll buy it. But I mean this. So
I feel like your word is actually a gospel when it comes to that.
So 4:30 on Sunday, I ended up scooping that up from him, and he gave me a t-shirt and I bought a frog blank from him. So yeah, I got
that's what I want for my decon stuff, is like just a table full of like our friends' work, like things that I have like stuff from Fetch, I have Colas, like just, I don't know, I kind of want to represent.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I have a Colas piece ready. I have Funkos that I'm probably gonna bring with me. But I also have, so I have a bit of a list to do of shit. Like I have to do the rainbow sparkles for Clutter. That's the middle of September, and I have a thing for.
What color are you?
Orange.
Yay!
So
Your orange shit is always so vibrant.
thank you. So like I messaged Miranda before I took off for Texas. I was like, can I have orange or green? And then I'm like, I'm in for green, so or in for orange. So I'm like, great. I already figured out I figured out the platform I was gonna paint or platforms I was gonna paint before I left. I had an idea for it, whether or not it was going to be orange or green, and then on the drive, I just fleshed it out totally to where it was like, okay, this is going to be the thing. And then when I got home, I was like telling Alicia about it, and I'm like, why don't I should do one as a red, like it's the Pop Pops, that's my own platform. And I was like, oh shit, I have plenty of these. Like, because I paint red pandas I paint other things as red pandas. So I was like,
Yeah.
I should paint a few of those as red pandas. So those will probably go with me to Decon, the red panda versions. And whatever didn't sell at 5 Points, it doesn't sell this summer, goes with me to Decon. And then whatever else I get done, like Man Thing, that'll go to Decon with me. That won't be. I could probably sell it for the cash to go to Decon in between now and then. That'll be one of the showpieces or centerpieces for my section of table. I think we all get 4 feet each, so
Yeah.
not bad. So this should be pretty dope. And then like probably some of these, just since they're small and easy to pack. If I should have 4 or 5 of those, four of those to go with me. So that's pretty cool. And worst case scenarios, I could always buy a few more, especially since here's hot tip. You want a hot tip right now? The euro
Of course.
is let's see, I'm gonna make sure it didn't change in 3 days. Euro to dollar is about 1-to-1. So if you want to order anything from Europe right now, you'll save yourself some money. It's like when Alicia went to Europe a couple of years before the pandemic, the euro was like 1.5 times the dollar. So this is a time, if you buy material like paints and whatnot overseas, or if you buy resin or resin prints or stuff with modelers and overseas, that's your hot tip for the day. Yeah. And look for people.
No wonder my uncle's like, get over to Europe now. And I'm like, monkeypox.
So that's, there we go. All right. So also during the break, I ended up going to the Minneapolis Institute of Art on a field trip, sort of. And so I don't remember all the names of the stuff that we looked at there, but I would like to share some of the pictures of some of the stuff that I took pictures of. Let's see where we're gonna go. All right. So we got much. So that's a Remington.
Oh, I love it.
Remingtons kind of have a special spot in my heart for just the way they're painted and the materials used. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got a Monet. Fancy schmancy. Okay. Let's see. We will all see one of my favorite pieces that the Institute of Art has to offer. I promise. Let's see. Let's see. Frank Lloyd Wright house or model, which was freaking cool. Oh yeah, one of the best. Doc A ended up making one of his pieces as a satire.
Oh my god, I fucking love that.
So yeah, it's pretty slick. An engraved Bible or illustrated Bible or illuminated Bible. It's the only spread they had open for it, which is freaking cool. They once upon a time had this display of the King James Bible that was done, illuminated with modern iconography, and one of them involved like the science of the Hubble, which I thought was super dope. And let's see, I don't remember why I took a picture of this. Maybe because it kind of looks like a light painting. And then let's see. And this came out on display. This hasn't been out in 10 years. This is all wood. And it's bigger than me. Let's see. We're just gonna grab a few more. All right, well, here's the Salvador Dali. That is it's a Salvador Dali, so I'm gonna be grateful I get to go see it every damn time I'm there. And that one's big. It's about the size of my computer, so maybe 2 feet by 1.5 feet. And I call that big for Salvador Dali because persistence of memory, the melting clocks one, that's the size of a sheet of notebook paper. So it's tiny. Picasso, it's a baboon made with car parts. It's all bronze, so that would fit right into the DIY, the custom toy world.
What I'm pointing at something like you can see what I'm showing on the screen. Below the car, what is that? No, not that one.
Oh, below this here?
Below the silver car next to the all the way to the left. Yeah, what is this?
That's a Tiffany, I believe. It's pottery, grand base earthenware with the iridescent metallic glaze.
The Tiffany.
No, but it's like in their modern industrial design area. That's where the car was too. Yeah, the base is right over here to the right of it. You can see like all this like lead glass with really nice color shifts, iridescent glazes on it.
Cool.
That place goes into that place just has a great feels good. All right, let's see. And my favorite Salvador Dali piece, because it's a sculpt, the lobster phone.
The lobster phone. If that was actually a phone, I'd use it.
Yeah, I have on occasion thought about wanting to do like I try to find a lobster or crayfish that I could put on the Money's Calling dude, so I could have him, linked up talking on the lobster and just paint him up like Salvador Dali instead. But because I've never found a crawfish, I ended up just moving on with whatever else that the idea is, because I don't want to wait for a specific prop of not paint stuff that's just hanging around. So.
And this isn't a museum like near you.
So what?
This isn't a museum that's near you.
Yeah, we have 2 really nice art facilities in Minnesota. One is the Minneapolis Institute of Art, which had that, and it's huge. It's got like 4 floors to it, and it's massive. It's so big you could lose a buddy who has a phone and a map. Oh. Yeah. And then they have the Walker Center for Contemporary Arts, and that has a sculpture garden. It's got 2 or 3, maybe 4 floors too, but it also has a sculpture garden that's huge, and it has a Klaus Oldenburg spoon bridge on it, which famous enough sculpture that Minnesota uses it on all its tourism pamphlets and crap. It's an awesome
to Minnesota.
Yeah, and Klaus Oldenburg just died like 2 weeks ago, so big sad face for me, because that was one of the surreal influences on my take on surrealism in the time.
Is that the sculptor that you posted about?
Yeah.
I pay attention.
I love Klaus Oldenburg. Yep, I didn't post many pictures, so I was like, okay, because he had made so many, and it's like, well, what do you pick? And you just kind of grab like, well, the few that I used. So the ones I grabbed were like the ones from college that every college person should know whose they are, and then like some that I actually got to see. Um, and yeah, and it's just like I really like his philosophy of how he did his sculpts, and well, it really fit. So,
If I ever come visit, you'll have to like show me like your museums and everything.
you bet.
Because I really like to see like
No, that's cool. Like, and
different
there's some
ones, you
great
know?
food in the air. There's some great food by both of them. So
Like I really dig like seeing different like cities and like what their museums hold and stuff like that.
like going to the Institute of Art, we ended up first going to a German restaurant so we could get a little, sustenance in us. And
Sustenance or beer.
both. But I felt lucky that this German place survived the pandemic. But in order to cut costs, I suppose they stopped selling beer by the liter, because I remember vividly getting beer by the liter, and now it's just by pints. That's all right. But beer was great. Schnitzel was great. Walked up
I
to
don't even like beer and I just drink it solely to do whatever you're doing.
This is yeah.
Peer pressure, peer pressure.
Peer pressure makes the world go round too.
You know what I did do, and I don't know why this just made me think of it, because we were talking about a museum. When I was in Rochester like 2 trips ago, I went to the Museum of Play. Wait, 3 trips ago, and it's like they had arcades and everything, and they had this thing that was like a tropical area. Literally had no fucking I don't know. I think like music instruments, maybe that's what it was out there. But they had these things called pitcher plants.
Okay.
Those things are so cool. So of course,
carnivorous type.
Yeah. So of course, when I was in Rochester this past time, I happened to find one, and I was like, a $30 plant. Give me this motherfucker! And like it's like I can't help it. And all I kept thinking was, this plant was in a museum. It's coming home with me. And it's obviously it's not the same one, but it's just like, if it could be in a museum, it could be in my house, killing all these insects. And it's so funny because you have to like actually fill like the pitcher with water.
You have some water, so
yeah, and it's like, I don't know if I actually have any like insects in this house for it to eat, but it's still really cool. And I named it Victory Bell after the Pokemon.
Nice.
Yeah. Correction. Fitzturtle named it Victory Bell.
Yeah, and I got 2 toys from New York Comic Con. One was Stormy Ball.
Wait, how?
What do you mean how?
How'd you get it from New York Comic Con?
How do I? No, I've been invited to go to group shows for New York Comic Con. So
I thought you were saying that you.
No. I'm looking at my notes.
And I'm like, from New York Comic Con. I was like, how did you do that?
Oops. I'm looking at my notes and I was just like, did I mention this? I didn't mention this because I'm pretty pleased about being in 2 different shows for New York Comic Con.
That's exciting. What shows?
So for Stormy Bolt, the theme is adventure. And in Martian Toys, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention the platform yet. So sneak peek soon.
Yeah, I was just saying, don't do it. Yeah.
It'll be, yeah. It's always like, I don't remember being told not to. So like,
the safe route is not to.
Yeah. So like the safe route is to not to. So, yeah. So when I was at my mom's, I planned on, I shared on Instagram and Facebook for like the plan to do like all this painting, and I ended up doing a lot of it. But one day I didn't do anything. Surprise, but like the next day I started cranking out a bunch of stuff, but I didn't set up my camera because the way I had to MacGyver the camera system. Any of my longer brush paints just kept, or brushes kept hitting the camera. And so I'm like, I'm having so after like an hour of like having to be around the camera and the lights set up, I'm like, screw this. And I turned it off so I could actually just have better efficiency, you know? And so like there's gonna be I did a lot of time lapse video, and then like, oh sorry, we just go from some time lapse of some of the stuff being done, and then just completed pieces. So it's gonna be the video will be choppier than I want it to, but I'm kind of excited to actually release on my other channel two
wait.
process
Yeah.
videos in about 2 weeks. So 2 weeks should look pretty cool. And like I kind of wish I did it. I started shooting the video and the man thing, but again, being in El Paso with the rig I had, and just it was not conducive. And then by the time I started airbrushing, I was like, oh yeah, that probably would have been one of the best things to video, is that transformation from being a dark brown all the way to the glorious autumnal colors that I've got on there. So yeah, I don't know. There's there's a desire to make videos. Yeah, so like the Hot Toys is going to be doing will be sending their Mad Monster to the customized rewards people, and so I'm gonna try and paint up at least one of those for a video. So
Which one?
Mad Monster, it's the satire on the My Pet Monster, but it was sculpted by Groman. So they ended up producing it by virtue of they got it launched from a Kickstarter 2.5 years ago. And yeah, they had all kinds of issues with this particular toy, but they managed to successfully get it produced, and that's super dope.
Oh, thank goodness.
James
James deserves that shit.
They do. And like Hot Toys, they've I mean they do a lot of their stuff by virtue of Kickstarter, and their stuff's already really cool. So it's nice to see another project successfully get completed. Yeah.
Good for them.
But yeah, I got a Funko that was ordered, excuse me, in December, and it finally came into the States like 8 months later.
December.
Yeah. So yeah, I my supervisor at the time gave us all these Target gift cards for Christmas, and she said, please spend it on something you wouldn't buy for yourself. That was her caveat. And so I bought a toy, but even though like, yes, I buy toys for myself, I was like, well, I bought a toy that is like a Target exclusive and whatever. It's like, I didn't buy groceries. So like it finally came in, and I'm pleased about it. Alicia helped me take it apart earlier today. So
which one was it?
It is a Maleficent dragon. And it's a 10-incher, so it's pretty big. So like, I have all these things that are like, oh, I'm previewing all this crap without any visualization, but I'm like, that's what I got.
I forgot which Maleficent dragon I have. That's Funko. At the time it was expensive. It was worth like a lot. Is it the same one?
Oh, this one was like, I want to say $40, but it's a 10-inch Funko, so it's big.
I don't know if it was that big.
They're like, yeah, I have a Skeletor Funko that's gonna go to 5 points with me over there, or not 5 points, Deacon. And then I might have a Bulbasaur that I might bring with, and they're all the 10-inch versions too. So like, they're not just straight up Funkos either, because I know I've kit bashed them all. Well, the Maleficent, but The others I've kit bashed on my shape or form.
Oh yeah, no, it's
It's
not
like,
the same one.
but it's like just as long as I don't have that cuboid head, because like the bodies are really cool. Like that's pretty much my only limitation is don't paint that square head. I'll be all right. So like last
I think
night,
you'll be okay.
Alicia and I went to a Lumineers concert, and it was cool because the leads, like, I don't know, I couldn't name you 3 songs that they sang except for one of them was a Tom Petty song. But great show. The stage production was really nice. Uh, the light show was really nice because they ended up doing like disco ball technology, but to a new level, all right, especially like in a stadium that seats 10,000 people. It was pretty cool. But the singer, as he's for the Lumineers, he's pointing out that like the venue honored tickets from 2 shows because the tickets that Alicia and I got were from 2.5, 3 years ago, and then the other group of tickets were from like early spring where there was still like COVID restrictions. So they managed to get everybody together for one venue. Yeah, which is fine. It was a great show. The big one of the biggest nails driven was that he's like, I know some of you guys bought your tickets 1,000 days ago. It's like people get married, died, had kids in between that time. And he's like, there's a lot that's changed. And he said he was very happy that everybody could get around doing it. And it was very cool to see them do their job. Most people did their job very well as an audience, except for the loud assholes behind us. But
That's
like,
why. That's why.
it was like, so like they just decided they would talk during. They showed up in between the first and middle act, and then they just started talking throughout the middle act. And I was like, after the first song, I turned around and I made acquaintance with them. I was like, hey, how long ago did you guys get your tickets? Oh, we just got them in like February. I'm like, cool. We've been waiting 2.5 years for this show. And I was like, that's what I was hoping would be like. That's my very nice way of saying, shut up. I want to absorb everything, not just the Lumineers. And then after like the next song, I was like, ended up turning around going, shut up. They all got all pissy and blah blah blah. But guess what? They shut up.
shut the fuck up.
They shut up, and then they left early. So I was like, cool. They're so drunk and pissy. They were spilling their drinks on other people. They didn't even most maliciously spill one on me. They just spilled it on everybody around us, which was like, wow, way to be a classless fuck. But and give me another mock drink, and I'll tell you more about how I feel. But like, the whole song set was all like uplifting. It was all about like how to raise against adversity, or like if you're having adversity in your life, it can get better. There will be, there are better times are ahead, and that was pretty cool. Like he even gave some backstory to some of the songs. Like one of them that they sang was like, well, 10 years ago we were driving in this rental car, and the car flipped. Like it went off the road and it turned 3 times, and there was another car that saw him flip, and they like pulled out and they were crying because they didn't want to see like what was inside, and they honestly thought for like a moment that there were ghosts beside the car because they ended up like surviving the car crash and being outside. But then they ended up being fine. But it was like, all right, we wrote a song based on this experience. Like, oh, that's thanks for the backstory.
Wow, that's terrifying. But that's also like really cool that they like use such like raw shit like that.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I know you don't know their songs, but I would have gone with Alicia.
I tried to earmark what the names of the songs were, but yeah, my poor old name.
Richard.
But yeah, so like it was great. I mean, like there was the Lumineers with the gentleman in the middle named Gary Allen Isakov, and then a guy led a band, and his name was Daniel Rodriguez, and eventually the Lumineers called them all out to play together for one of the last songs, and it was nice. It was just like very positive night. We didn't get home till like 12:30, and I'm a little tired from that. That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay to be tired from all that. You did a lot of shit.
So
I'm
then,
surprised you didn't know their songs.
yeah, I've heard a
what
bunch.
is it?
I've heard
Ho
probably half.
Hey?
Then they did a Tom Petty cover, and I knew that song.
Which one?
Waltz,
Oh,
which again, another uplifting song about it. Like as soon as the guy said, "Oh, we're gonna do a Tom Petty song," my heart was like, "Oh, I'd love to see what they do with Running Down a Dream." But it's like that's a great song. Jeff Beck made it sound amazing. But like in my heart, I'm like, I'd love to hear that, but that's not the message that they're sending tonight.
yeah.
So like Walls very much was, and it was like, oh, that's really appropriate.
I like that they made kind of like a come together concert after like so
Yeah.
much shit.
Yeah, and like several times he was like, man, can you imagine like where we were and how we got here, and just just trying to be uplifting, and it was nice.
That's all you could want.
Like I haven't been to a live concert in probably 10 years.
Really.
So like, yeah, so this was very much a treat. And yeah, I was like, I know I ran it in the ground, but I kept telling Alicia happy birthday, even though it's 4 months away. But I'm like, this is your birthday present from 2.5, 3 years ago. So like, let me say happy birthday as long as I can.
I think the last concert I saw was 2019, and I saw The Cure with
Oh wow.
with Luke Chu.
Awesome.
I saw The Cure with Luke in Pasadena. There was somebody else that was in that concert. I just can't remember. That was with them, but it was a great show. Great show. Definitely not something most people would expect my ass to be at, but I was in heaven.
It does seem a little outside, but that's all right. No.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised. Like there's this I've told you about this game. It's like Wordle, but it's for songs. I feel like I'm literally just like an undying dictionary of just music, because like every song this whole week where I was near like up and down Rochester, all around New York, every store I went into, everything, I was singing every song that was in the building, and all my friends are like, and it's like word for word shit I haven't heard since I was like 3. Blame my father.
Hey, there are songs that I listen to on the radio that are old enough that like they're like both Alicia's dad and myself like very much know and love them, and then like when I talk about them around Alicia's like, what's that? Like, what? Did your dad not educate you on the Who?
Right. Oh my god, right?
It's so like it happens, but so we were listening to her dad and I were listening to You Better Bet Your Life, by Pete Townsend. And he was helping me do something that came on the radio. And I said to him, I always thought Meatloaf would have covered this song like better than the original. And he just looks at me, yeah. And then, of course, Meatloaf had the audacity 2 years later to die, and I'll never get that fantasy cover made.
Yeah, the
all about-
audacity.
The audacity before like a fan cast cover song. But
How
it's like,
dare you?
how dare you? Yeah. So, all right, dude. We have been doing
Are we
this
gonna
for
spin the wheel?
do you have your Sharpies?
Of course.
All right,
Of course,
cool.
I've run it.
What was the last color of the month? Do you remember?
No.
No. Okay, so I'm pretty certain I painted it. I'm pretty certain I took it to 5 points. And I'm pretty certain it was like a bubblegum pink. Right.
Yes,
like-
it was. Oh shit! Hold on. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I can never remember what side these are on. Yeah, was it jelly pink or power pink? I think it was jelly pink.
Jelly pink. Okay. I'm pretty certain I painted. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can incorporate the color you're going to spin on Man Thing. That would be awesome. All right, and on Robot.
Always just gonna be robot.
Always on Robot.
I can't remember where's robot. Okay, robot's on the bottom. Do I have to? Oh yeah, I have to lay it down. I always forget that that's the rule.
All right, so Nicole, spinner wheel.
Okay,
Get the
it
deal.
is on an orange. It's literally tangerine.
Tangerine.
Yep.
All right, I guess I'm painting something else like a red paint. Oh, you know what? There's my rainbow sparkles.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I think that just answered your.
Yeah. I'm going to be painting a red panda with tangerine. That'll be fun too.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
kind of like that idea. I kinda like that
Tangerine.
idea.
That's dope.
Yeah, I like that one.
Cool.
I
Alright.
like that the wheel, it has all of like it's in color order for the most part.
Mhm.
Like so orange and tangerine are next to each other,
Okay.
but they're different tips, like fine tip and ultra fine tip. It's just in color order. So like it's easy to distinguish, like, oh, it's not that darker one. So it isn't
Right.
like it's not like with that, what was that, fucking Tanzanite? Where I was like, is that the periwinkle? Like I couldn't tell for sure. I'm like, what kind of color? Tanzanite? I hated that one so much.
Oh, that's a good color.
I liked what I did with it. I just hated having to figure out what to do with it, like to complement it.
Okay.
I was being a baby. It's fine. I kind of like this idea for orange because that's very like I know that's very in your realm.
Yeah.
Very out of my realm.
Yeah.
And it's very. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
Cool.
Know what I'm gonna do.
Very cool. Well, you put that in your head for next week. We expect an update. And we're going to sign off now. So we'll say thanks to those who watched. Thanks to those who watched in the future.
Thanks for dealing with me being late tonight. I am
Yeah,
trying
thanks-
to figure
thanks
out
for-
my new setup.
Thanks for reestablishing contact after we take a break. And yeah, we do this for the good vibes. Number one rule about Paint Club is always talk about Paint Club. So yeah, we'll see you next time.